least he's not a maniac.
Says who? He's wearing a striped suit and his hair slicked back. He's got his hands like that for a start.
Good night, darling. I think I'm gonna have a cup of milk and go to bed too.
Aye, yes, Mum. Milk. 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 Come on. Like, look at the state of this woman. If you seriously think this woman's gonna go and have a cup of milk and go to bed, what world are we living in? What fantasy land? She's gonna go down to the cupboard and she's gonna get a glass of voddy. Fucking milk my ass. Hello guys, welcome back to the video. Hope you're doing really well. Today we're gonna be playing the first episode of a brand new interactive fiction slash visual novel. It's no secret, I do love visual novels. I love them, but I am picky with them. I don't just play any old crap. And this one, I am telling you, is going to be an absolute belter. So this is Pink Noise. Pink Noise is a non-linear visual novel in the psychological horror genre, immersing you in the retro atmosphere of the 1990s. It tells a tale of a group of teenagers who unknowingly set off a chain of terrifying events. What secrets lie within the mysterious VHS tape they shouldn't have ever played? We are going to find out. And if you want to know what's inside said mysterious VHS tape, then don't go anywhere. This is episode 1, act 1, A Long Shady Alley. There's a group of teenagers. Fall comes to Riverwood with chilling winds and the first drizzle. A bleak mist obscures the narrow streets, clinging to the rooftops, tangling in the bushes and swirling around fields. Fog and murky blackness suit the peculiar suburb. Nestled amid the forests and mountains is a decaying, quiet place waiting for winter. As evening wears on, the town is wrapped in thickening twilight, with only a few streetlights serving as solitary islands of illumination in an ocean of darkness. On one such evening, ordinary and cold, 4 teenagers are strolling around an old park, engrossed in a lively discussion. The first falling leaves rustle underfoot. As the wind reaches the trees, their branches groan out a long, plaintive creak, as if already lamenting the loss of their motley attire. 2 of the teenagers, a tall boy and a fair-haired girl, walk hand in hand. Their friend carefully hops from one paved slab to the next, balancing as though a bottomless chasm might yawn open beneath them. A quiet, stooping boy in glasses trails behind them, casting glances at the road. Ahead, the street splits in two, then veers sharply out towards a wasteland. Just a half-century before, a tiny school stood there. Now, only a barely discernible foundation and heaps of broken bricks, choked by stubborn vines, remain to remind them of its erstwhile existence. Year by year, students have taken that path, carrying with them their thoughts and fears, high hopes and grand dreams, from tough exams and first crushes to bullies, bonks, bonks on the head, or simply yearnings to be the star player of a local team. Be it a glowing autumn gold, cloaked in verdant summer green, or blanketed beneath snowdrifts, Riverwood will never forget them, just as they'll never forget their town and its secrets. The older a place grows, the more mysteries it keeps locked away. Why do I feel emotional? It might be my hormones. I mean, it could be just the good writing. One of the girls leaps into the distorted blur of light cast by an old street lamp.
Ain't gonna catch me.
Look at her face! Eva wipes shadowy webs off her cardigan. Gossamer threads only she can perceive. She glances at the overgrown bushes, which have long since forgotten the tender care of gardening shears. I think I played the demo for this, have I? I recognise her face. And his. Unless I'm imagining things.
No chow time tonight, besties.
The other girl scoffs at her friend's silly gestures.
If Brian was as agile as you, we wouldn't have been stuck in school after dark. The chemistry room's never been so tidy.
She wiggles her fingers to demonstrate, her palms red and wrinkled from the hot water.
It's not my fault Mrs. Hopstone didn't save enough teeth to avoid spitting and lisping.
Yeah.
Besides, she should have explained it better. The bottle must have been left open.
Actually, she explained just fine, but you still put 3 chlorine tablets in the rubbing alcohol instead of 1. Surprise, surprise, the reaction was extreme.
Alright, nerd.
Yeah, that bang was something else. My left ear's still ringing.
Eva stops, hovering in a faint halo of light, and nods. She's never been reprimanded at school before today. What? Sure, she would have been way more upset if it hadn't been Brian's fault, but still. It's just another adventure. Something her and her friends will laugh about one day, and a happy memory is worth more than any reprimand. Especially when her parents will probably forget it by tomorrow.
Alright.
I was always getting reprimanded. He raises his hand apologetically.
Next time we team up, I won't let you down. I'll put in 2 chlorine tablets.
You're steady. The group passes a row of houses, as dissimilar to one another as is ever possible in a suburb. What the fuck has gone on with this one, though? Ooh, lights. Oh, look, someone looking, look. The time-worn houses' windows glow faintly in sepia tones, as though the light itself has aged and can no longer disperse the deepening darkness. What is he doing, the peeper? The buildings they pass seem to be contending for the greatest neglect. Every other resident would be considered an eccentric in any other town. For instance, Grey Bone has leaned on the rusty mower on his front stoop instead of a cane for 2 decades. Oh, I see. The abandoned duplex across the road still bears the scars of a long-forgotten fire. Its windows are boarded up. Even during the day, it has a miserable look. The teens keep their distance.
Oh, Miss Harvitz's house.
Somebody likes weird stuffed dogs and cats, from the look of it. The gloomy old lady had knitted yet another pear-shaped cat and proudly displayed it on the terrace, thus expanding her ugly army. Ah.
Right, you had a cup of tea together. Did baby Tony apologize?
Who the hell is baby Tony? Once, Eva's brother had filched one of the cats and taken it home. Neither of her parents had called any attention to it, so she'd had to explain herself that taking other people's belongings without permission was wrong.
No, I was the one to apologize. Miss Harvitz didn't say a word. She only gave us a cold stare and sniffed loudly. She scared poor Tony so much that he couldn't fall asleep for half a night.
Why? Because she sniffed?
You have such a giving heart when it comes to your brother. You might be raising a hell of a night. Why in the world would he want to snatch a cat, though?
Why not?
He was just a little kid. He came, he saw, he took it home.
There's no need to tell her friend that Tony had intended to give Eva the cat. He knew she wanted a pet more than anything in the world. He thought he could cheer her up with at least a toy one. He'd never taken anything that didn't belong to him before. Not out of fear of getting caught or punished. He simply found stealing shameful. What, as a kid? Come on. Tony would sooner give away his breakfast than steal something from someone weaker than him. No doubt that kind of attitude will make school harder for him, but such is his nature. Contemplating her brother's heart of gold, Eva smiled softly. Why are they very flat? They passed by Mrs. Harvitt's house. They passed by Mrs. Harvitt's terrace, curiously eyeing her odd dolls. Twilight makes the cat's silhouettes look eerie. Their pearl-button eyes glimmer in the fading light, as if they know secrets that have been buried too long.
If I go crazy one day, I'm gonna definitely buy a nice crib close to the park. The neighbors here match me perfectly.
Did they?
Yeah, I can't stand this street. It's like it's lost in time and space. How about we head through the square?
Nobody wants that. Like, nobody goes up in a small town, a small place like this and wants to get a house on... No, what you biggest aim is to get the feck out of there. No one protests, so she leads them onward, swooping into the nearest alley. A gust of wind bursts through the narrow walkway, permeating the air with the stench of raw wooden planks and rotten garbage. Is that a cat on that bin? It's a rather big cat, though. The houses in the alley look like they've been copied and pasted. They were likely being built at the same time to house factory workers. The only thing that differs is the light in the windows, on or off, making it clear whose shift it is tonight. 2 Christmases before, Brian got beaten up here. Some high school students apparently didn't appreciate his sharp tongue. They shoved him into a snowbank and packed snow under his sweater. But the most humiliating part was a neighbour kicking them all out. She came out onto the doorstep with one of Brian's classmates, a cute but overly chatty girl. By the very next day, the whole school had heard the story about him shaking snow out of his pants and whimpering like a puppy. He would have preferred being rolled into a giant snowman and left there till spring. Brian adjusted the backpack full of baseball equipment, which has crawled down his shoulder, and walks up to Ashley.
I'm so fed up with this stupid school. All these teachers, homework, tests.
No, that is school, I'm afraid.
But the year just started.
That only makes me want to study even less. There's nothing worse than coming back to school after summer.
Well, actually, yeah, that's true. He jumps over a puddle and takes Ashley's hand.
It's like wearing old trainers you've already grown out of. Can't wait for college. When I start working, I'll buy real catcher's gear. Or at least a better glove.
His palm still hurt from Friday's practice session. The equipment donated to their team left much to be desired.
Better buy a slugger straight away. It'll pay off much sooner. Best case scenario, you can be a bouncer at a bar.
No. Ashley laughs at his childishness. Brian doesn't get the complexity of the world at all.
Dad says a good job like
at him.
his is hard to find without higher education.
Well, does he? Ashley grabs her Leo Zodiac pendant. It's a nervous habit. Something she does whenever she says something important. It calms her.
College is just another place to study.
This world's too cruel. Illness, starvation, school.
Now, I'm not being funny, but what kid this age really cares that much about what's going on in the world? You're just consumed with the immediate what impacts your life. Unless I'm just a fucking pessimistic fuck, which I am.
I like school though.
Michael tries to squeeze into the conversation. All along, he's been trailing behind the others, glancing suspiciously at parked pickups, as if they might bite. He hasn't kept up with his friends since he noticed 2 silhouettes in an old Ford. Where? 1 female, 1 male. I don't see any silhouette. Oh, shit! Fuck! Oh, look at that one's face! His tongue's hanging out. The mutilated face stared back at him. He could have sworn he'd heard a hoarse, gurgling whisper. Oh, shit, boy. The garbled words sank into his skin like windshield fragments, making his chest constrict like his ribs were breaking. Every breath pained him like his lungs were pooling with blood. Then a light had flashed over one of the doorsteps, dispersing the blackness. Suddenly, both seats were empty again, and the strange vision turned into nothing but a local flour mill uniform hanging from a grab handle. Michael wipes the sweat off his forehead and listens carefully to his friends.
Of course. I'd love school too if I had your scores, Mikey.
Exactly.
Agreeing, Brian quickly squeezes Ashley's hand.
Maybe I should wear glasses too. Sounds like homework doesn't look so boring through them.
Yeah, because glasses make you more smart, don't they, you dick? Drugs! They walk by the Murdoch's front garden and into a street flooded with pink and blue neon store signs.
You'd better stop complaining. We only have 3 years of school left. Just imagine. Life's gonna be completely different afterward. We might even lose touch.
To Eva, the idea of moving away was like teleporting to an unfamiliar planet. So many new people, places, and interesting stories. She hadn't even fully explored Riverwood yet. In her mind, the town's old houses and old residents still harbour so many secrets, enigmatic and dark. No, get out of your shitty little town! In comparison, some unknown, huge city was like a bottomless well, impossible to fully drain, even if you had 100 years. In a future like that, it would be hard to make time for anything from the past, but she doesn't plan to forget her loved ones forever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a village, so from my bedroom window, I could see the lights of the A1 motorway and I used to pretend the lights were like it was a city, and I just craved to be by the city. And at 39, I'm now wanting to go back somewhere quiet and peaceful. I think you've got to, a period of time, when you're young, you've got to get out of your little town, and you've got to experience the world, go to a city, experience all the things, all the different kinds of people there are. You know? I think you've got to do that.
If friendship's real, distance means nothing. My dad calls his friends from other states every single day.
Every day? She's tempted to add that they mainly have business conversations and argue often, but they don't need to know that. In her mind, her parents are role models everyone should strive to imitate. Not just her and her brother. There isn't a single family in the entire town happier or more close-knit than Ashley. Oh, give me a break, Ashley! And that's nothing but the truth. My arse, that is, I guarantee you now that's not the truth. There'll be some dark secret between her fucking folks.
Well, a couple of cornfields and state borders ain't enough to break you up.
What the hell do Ashley's dad, your love, and cornfields have in common? Look around.
Eva stops and points towards the houses swaying in the darkness.
Is there anything really happening up here?
Nope.
Crunk Jim driving his tractor into a ravine was practically the only breaking news here in 6 months.
Well, adulthood is a real challenge. People grow up, then they start to feel sorry that time flew by so fast, and they want to experience school life again.
She pauses, searching for the right words. Quitting someone else is one thing, but will she soon regret those bygone days herself? I mean, everyone's got some sort of regrets, right? Like when you're old and you look back at these years, I think everyone's got some sort of thing they wish they'd done differently, or, you know what I mean, experience something different, I don't know. After all, Eve already calls her early childhood a nostalgic warmth. You're still a child! Sorry. Back when? Back then, every little thing felt like it was brimming with wonder. Now a doll is no longer a sorceress princess or a traveller from a far-away world. A toy soldier is just a piece of plastic, and a blanket no longer serves as a battlefield for alien creatures. Making stories up for others is simple, but how are you supposed to fix yourself? Maybe the older you get, the duller and more colourless the world becomes. Well, I mean, it can do. But that's because real life batters you down and it beats the joy out of you.
It's like going back to a fairy tale you weren't grateful enough for earlier.
They're just nice words, nothing more. Bring adults back to the textbooks, and they'll howl all day. I don't remember any fairy tales where the characters were forced to read Walt Whitman's poetry. What about you, Michael?
Who the fuck is Walt Whitman?
Me neither.
No? What was that? The friends stroll from one store to the next, looking at the flickering signs. Up close, they no longer seem bright and cheerful. They look rather ramshackle and out of place in a dilapidated suburb.
Let's go home, okay? Dad's on a shift today, but if he comes back to grab a bite to eat and I ain't there...
You're screwed. Brian scratches his neck and sticks out his tongue. Ashley laughs and punches him in the shoulder. Michael, trailing behind everyone, suddenly stops and looks at the only sign that still sparkles as brightly and cheerfully as the day it was hung.
The arcade's open! I doubt there's anyone there this late. We can play S-Fighter.
Oh, hell yeah, boy. Usually calm and quiet, he now blossoms. Behind his thick glasses, his eyes shine with passion.
Totally! No stupid helpers, suckers, or high school jerks.
That's me in any arcade when I was a kid. The boys lean against the dusty window, as happy as if they were meeting their idols. The girl's only snorting irritation. Get a grip! Everyone loves to play a game, whether you're a girl or a boy. Everybody wants to go into an arcade and play a game. Fact.
What? Suddenly you're not gonna run back to your crib to avoid Daddy's shellacking?
I'll risk it. There's always a chance Dad'll kick you in the head. But
What?
the chance to throw hijukins and not wait in a frickin' line for the game, now that's rare.
Kick you in the head? I beg your pardon.
It takes so little to make them happy, doesn't it?
Well, Ashley glances at her friend.
Let him play. By the way, did you hear about the arcade machine that appears in the hall by itself?
I beg your pardon. Ashley rolls her eyes. Eva's fantasies and reality have little in common. Her friend refuses to grow up. In her world, even a tattered old shoe might open its jaws and spin some ridiculous yarn. And that's exactly why Ashley adores Eva. She's so incredibly different from Ashley's overly rational parents, and from Ashley too. With her, getting bored is an impossible mission. Even if they were both locked away in an empty basement, Eva will still manage to discover something fascinating there. She'd pull Ashley in and get her into trouble again. They'd giggle about it later. But Eva doesn't need to know that. It isn't like anyone can stop her anyway.
You start playing and can't stop. The game never ends. It's impossible. But you try over and over again. Forgetting about eating or even going to the bathroom. Over again. Not thinking of your parents and friends. Over and over again until
you run out of your allowance, can't afford breakfast, and stay hangry for the rest of the week 'cause you're dumb.
Michael peels away from the glass and adjusts his lopsided glasses.
Well, that doesn't sound so scary if you got no allowance to begin with. Want to go in or what?
Yeah, fair enough.
gosh, they're looking at us like dogs staring at a steak.
Ashley waves her hand authoritatively. Oh, does she now? Just go in, you don't have to ask permission from no fucker.
It's creepy to go home when it's so dark out. But if you win 100 tickets, me and Eva are gonna pick a prize.
Fair enough. Act 2 is high time for games. I better be able to play a game. We've got a nerd look. The spacious room is somehow stuffy, permeated with the stench of hot plastic, unsuccessfully covered up by a pungent berry air fresheners. Oh. Right.
Smells like wasted time.
Oh, shut up, Ashley!
As if. The shack smells nothing like school.
The clamour of screensavers and demo walkthroughs melds into a terrible cacophony. No wonder the zoned-out cashier is shielding himself from it with a set of greasy, cushioned headphones. Ew, not greasy. The walls are plastered with posters, promotional flyers, and all sorts of paper trash. However, one ad stands out. If you beat a record, you can win tickets and exchange them for prizes. Such generosity was easily explained. With the start of the school year, kids have a bit more cash in their pockets than usual. There's no one inside except the cashier, yet the floor is peppered with trash, from crumbled soda cans to chocolate bar wrappers. Well, someone's not doing his feckin' job. The arcade closes in 30 minutes. Local kids can only hang out here at this hour in the summer. The hall is packed with all sorts of arcade machines, each game's name glowing invitingly. Clips of characters deliberately failing to beat different levels flash on the screen over and over. The boy starts searching for the most interesting game. Monkey King. I see. What's this? La Laga. This was one of the most famous games. Now this veteran arcade cabinet is used only while the others are busy, or when a couple of truly insane nerds try, and fail, to break the record of someone named Lily the Rat once or twice a month. S-Fighter. The best game the hall has ever seen. Kyu and Ren are frozen on the signboard, ready to jump each other. The floor around the arcade machine is brightly polished, worn down by students' sneakers. Monkey King, an arcade golden oldie. The game machine is ancient and in poor condition. The sign barely even flickers anymore. One of the buttons is cracked.
It's over here!
No! The boys run towards the machine. It's out of order. It hasn't yet been wrecked the way some of the time-worn neighbours have. Even so, the buttons on the plastic casing bear scuffs, cracks, and grubby marks left by countless kids' hands. That's disgusting. Worst of all, instead of some thrilling music, the machine is emitting only a hoary wheeze, like an old man struggling to clear his throat, and instead pushing a death rattle out of his rusty lungs. A piece of cardboard with a blood-curdling inscription is stuck to the screen. Temporarily out of order. No, cashier cannot fix it.
God, where is your justice?
Who's the god of computer nerds? The monkey holding the barrel?
Brian grumbles something in response, and Michael just shrugs.
A technician's coming, but not till at least next Tuesday. So y'all need to choose some other game. Try Road Blasters. It's the freshest here.
I don't want to try Road Blasters. You see, he points at the brand new arcade game, displaying a car blowing up and drowning in a fiery pixelated cloud.
Dang it!
Michael's voice trembles. He seldom lets himself betray such emotion, but Brian has his
What else
back.
have you got, other than cars?
All that and a bag of chips. If you're ranking a top 5 of Pumpkin Man, I'll give you a double prize.
Oh, now then. He nods towards the counter.
Aye, no one really plays this trash. We've got a real shot at setting a record.
Pussycat! A grey cat lounging on a chair next to another machine captures the girl's attention. Look at the pussycat! 4 letters shine on her pink collar. Lucy.
So sweet!
Pet the cat! Oh, hell yeah, boy! The cat flattens her ears and grumbles. Oh. Okay, maybe not.
I bet you $5 she doesn't remember how clean hands with no cheese ball dust on them feel.
Look at her face, how gorgeous!
She kinda looks like the cat Mom was trying to paint last month.
Let me guess. The cat in the painting had mandibles and a pair of tentacles.
I beg your pardon?
I wish. She was just in the background. Mom paints people. You know how it is.
Ashley knows. She wishes she didn't though. Those paintings are why she prefers inviting Eva over rather than visiting her. Well, one of the reasons anyway. They had a slumber party at Eva's place twice. Both nights, Ashley had been plagued by nightmares. The root cause was just a few masterpieces Eva's mum considered her favourites. Compared to those monstrosities, plain old horror movies were practically bright, cheery cartoons. What are they paint? Did she say they were paintings? How scary can a painting be? Meanwhile, the boys approach the coin-operated Pumpkin Man machine. Oh, I see. Instead of usual Mr. or Mrs. Pac-Man, a bright orange pumpkin is flying around tough levels, eating licorice candies. The display sears their eyes with poisonous shades as a bunch of green blots chase the voracious pumpkin.
What you think? Are these ghosts?
Michael peers at the sign.
Here's a hunter shooting the pumpkin with a shotgun.
Look at the pumpkin. Ah.
They're restless hunter souls then.
Awesome. Let him catch the pumpkin. Then everyone's happy. The hunters are safe in their graves, and we're home.
Brian decisively draws a handful of coins from his pocket and inserts them. The coins clatter through the machine's metal innards and settle in its stomach. The maze dissolves into pixels and rearranges itself into the first level. Its corridors are speckled with candies, and the ghosts begin darting ravenously around their cage.
That comb? With no prize. I ain't leaving until we empty out the prize counter.
The cashier shudders at the thought.
We close in half an hour.
Alright! Fucker. Brian winks at
Then he's
Michael.
gonna have 15 minutes left over to cry over his empty counter.
Yeah, alright, Brian. If I'm playing it, we ain't picking any prizes. I can tell you that now for a start. We've got 3 levels.
Dang it! They got you cornered!
Who?
This time. This time.
To the left!
If I'm gonna get all of these things.
Wrong way!
Ah! Oh shit! I've got to get every single last little blip. Are you serious? Oh, good.
To the
Thank you.
left!
Shut up! Oh, fucking dickhead!
This time. This time.
Okay, level 2. Oh, shit! Oh my fucking arse. This is gonna take me all fucking night.
Screen hurts. Don't you feel your head swell?
No! This time. This time.
Say that once more.
Looking at the screen hurts. Don't you feel
Looking
your
at you
head swell?
hurts. Hearing your voice hurts. So shut up, everybody.
To the left!
Ooh.
Wrong way!
You shut your fucking mouth. Oh, fuck, I ran straight into him. No, not game over.
Well,
No!
I guess we gotta be lucky.
No, let me do it again.
Who knew those ghosts would be so nimble?
No, let me do it again, you fucking fuckers.
I'd
Give me a
rather read my
choice.
history book than play this flickering trash can.
Oh, you fucking hairy arses. Why didn't you give me a choice to be able to do it again? Brian pats his pocket, secretly hoping to find a couple more coins, but all that turns up are keys and a crumpled pack of Salem menthol cigarettes. Why's he got cigarettes? He's like fucking 10! Which he should probably hide before heading home. He used to smoke only around the older guys and oh, give me a break. Hoping to look tough and grown up. Well, having shrugged up lungs before you're 20 isn't cool. Brian, whatever your name is. For each missing cigarette in a pack, their coach made them run a lap. But that didn't deter them. As for his friends, Brian's bad habit is still a secret. They'd never approve. No doubt Ashley would call him an idiot, and Eva would just lecture him about quicker and more entertaining ways to kick the bucket. Michael wouldn't judge him out loud, but he'd scrunch his face up at the smoke. At that moment, Brian would gladly take a drag. The point of this game is making him snap. He feels like giving that treacherous machine a good thump.
You won this time, you dirty piece of iron.
Well, it's not the fucking machine's fault, we're shit. Frustrated, the guys start off towards the exit, but Eva catches them.
Look what I found. Someone hung them on the toilet paper holder.
Ew. The restroom is a perfectly normal place for most sensible people. She only wants to cheer her friends up, but that doesn't mean they won't tease. Her cheeks flush with embarrassment as she holds out the strip of 8 winning tickets. What am I going to do with 8? It's only enough for a cheap keychain, but they're out of money, so they hit the cashier.
How's it going?
Look at that game pod! Oh my god, I've got slinkies, I've got game pods, I've got fucking all sorts of shit. Rubik's cubes. Oh, the fucking 8-ball, or rather 9-ball.
The same as your arcane machine's repairs.
Cashier only sniffs. I can't afford anything. You're not letting me play it again so I can get a good prize. I want that. 10,000 winning tickets. How do you even get that many? The best prize ever, the boy's wildest dream. I wonder how long you'd have to play. Well, could fucking tell you. Slinky, 20 winning tickets. I haven't got enough for a Slinky. An American golden oldie. You can perform lots of simple tricks with it. Well, I wouldn't say lots. Eva's promised her young brother she'll get him one, just like this. 1986 Cops baseball card. 40 winning tickets. The card's price has slumped since everyone rushed to buy them a few years back. Hoping to sell them at a profit later, even if they aren't interested in sports. Brian's personal collection is only missing the 1986 and 1984 sets. He'd love this. Cube. 35 winning tickets. A good but hard puzzle. Mac could love stuff like that. You'll probably solve it in 15 minutes. Magic Ball. 50 winning tickets. Ashley would love this toy, as she believes in fortune telling and horoscopes. Well, no one's getting anything, because we're shit. Old VHS tape. No price tag.
And what is this crap?
The cashier turns around surprised.
No idea. Someone must have left it here. Y'all can just take it since you spent all your cheddar on Pumpkin Man anyway. Maybe it's a movie or something.
Oh, maybe it's something weird. Let's take it.
But what if the owner comes for it?
Shut up!
It's already been here all
Or you,
week.
even.
Doubt nobody needs it. Besides, visitors forget stuff here all the time. Y'all want to see my cap collection?
Absolutely not.
No thanks.
You freak. She snatches up the cassette and hides it in her bag. I am dying to know what's in there. I am so nosy. Brian hands the cashier's tickets.
Just give it to the next poor sucker who dares punishes himself with that crappy pumpkin game. Tell him he's not alone in this world.
We feel his pain. He didn't say that. The guys head out for the exit, but suddenly the cat leaps off the chair and rubs up against Eva and Ashley's legs. Look at it! No longer displeased, Lucy swishes her tail excitedly and gazes affectionately at the teenagers. You'd never guess she looked like a bristling hedgehog just half an hour ago. Her nose twitches as she's caught a whiff of her favourite food. What does she want?
Silly cats.
Hey.
It's me and Mike who deserve some compassion after what that game did to us.
Stop moaning.
Never mind. We got much more than expected.
Did we? Oh yeah, the tape. Eva pats the bag joyfully.
And what would that be?
The tape.
Secrets.
Everyone loves the secret tape. A bad sign. Chapter 3, Act 3. Most of the signs are already off, submerging the thickets, basements, and narrow alleys in darkness. It splashes out onto the square, engulfing it in blackness. Only a few pickups and locked bicycles are still around, all parked by Marshall Sue's bar. The wind sweeps over the fields. The element that usually toys with the harvested corn now moans forlornly, plunging the suburb into melancholy. Winter will change everything. Stores and bars will be strung with sparkling beads of colourful lights, and the snow will smooth the wrinkles and scars of old Riverwood. The town will take on a deceptively pretty and cosy facade. Listen, snow does that, even to the shittiest places. Blanket of snow makes everything look nice. As a kid, Michael loved strolling around there during Christmas vacation, munching on hot pies and watching snowflakes fall through the thick windows of a coffee shop. Back then, he never noticed the ageing buildings, chipped concrete, or the gloomy people trying to fake a smile. Well, when you're a kid, you don't really notice any of that shit. In autumn, however, the suburb's floors stand out more sharply. It looks unwelcoming, grey, lifeless. No wonder Eva calls it the season of ghosts. Just thinking of it gives him the creeps.
Well, we're late. Granny and Grandpa will be upset.
Yeah, well.
If that's the worst that'll happen, then you may as well stay out a little later.
True. Eva pulls out the cassette and looks it over. I want to know what's on there so bad.
What you think? Is there anything on it?
Well, that light went off.
It looks like a personal archive of a maniac who killed a lot of people and recorded their achievements for their descendants to watch. A comfy basement, hooks, candles.
Okay.
Or an auto shop with a buzzsaw and a big meat freezer.
Yeah, okay. The friends pass through the square towards a scatching of newer houses. This area doesn't have as much junk lying around as the park does. The residents here are relatively wealthy. His father once mentioned that most of his customers lived around here. They always need new furniture, doors, sturdy boards for fresh construction. Nothing bad can happen in a place like that. Oh no, not fucking much. No, only bad things happen in poor areas, right? Nothing bad happens in rich areas. Sorry. But horror movies have convinced either otherwise. Quiet, affluent neighbourhoods are exactly where the creepiest things happen, exactly! Nobody expects them there, so prey can be easily captured, warm and unaware.
What if the cassette is cursed?
Aye, well, you know, we've all seen The Ring.
Please. I bet it's that freak cashier's home video. He's probably posing in a French maid costume.
Yeah, and having a wank, probably. The reach Ashley's driveway. It boasts a large yard with plenty of space for a treehouse, a pool, and a heated shed. Well, someone's got some feckin' money. Fancy houses like that look alien in Riverwood, like jamming a few expensive implants into a row of rotten teeth. Oh, nice analogy, but you know. The suburb is in no hurry to accept them. Over time, it will wrap them in its shawl of mist and drizzle, engulf them in vines and weeds. It'll be years before they truly belong. For now, the house's red tiled roof still gleams. The pavement has not cracked or sprouted fresh shoots of dogged grass, and the building has not yet sagged beneath the weight of the passing years. Oh, I like that. The building has not yet sagged beneath the weight of the passing years. That's a good line. The only light still on is her parents' bedroom upstairs, which means Ashley will have to make her own dinner and have it cold. Oh, bless.
Ash, you have an old VHS player in your shed, don't you?
Let's go.
Yeah, but I should have gotten rid of it after you'd bought that creepy Italian movie about ballerinas.
They pause by the decorative fence. Eva keeps touching her bag, as if making sure their consolation prize is still safe. Ashley might have acted over dramatic, but truth be told, she'd enjoyed that movie. She'd even tried to recreate some of its ballet pas deux. What? I don't know idea what that is. Watching horror movies with friends has a special kind of thrill. You felt less scared, but had way more fun. You'd notice something you'd missed before, discuss the details, and figure out who feared what.
How about it? Wanna watch? I ain't gonna sleep till I know what's on it.
Me too, actually. The boys didn't mind. They're eager to shake off the sting of defeat in the arcade centre, so badly that they prefer getting in trouble all over again for coming home late. Ashley just shrugs and heads for the shed. A comfy place. Act 4. Oh, that fucking scarecrow or whatever that is in the corner. As far as the friends are concerned, Ashley's shed is the best and cosiest place in the whole suburb. They spent most of their evenings there in winter, when there's nowhere else to hang out and a high risk of being targeted by high schoolers as snowballs. There's plenty of space for board games and fooling around. They can be as loud as they like, and Ashley can always bring them snacks or soda from home. God, imagine having a rich friend. I would have loved a rich friend when I was at school. Her father originally planned to turn the place into a man cave, complete with a couch and a big TV, but he's been overwhelmed with work lately, so most of the time the friends are free to use the shed. But that day they aren't alone. What? Chris. Oh, I thought he was one of the... For some reason I thought he was one of the lads, and it didn't occur to me that obviously he isn't. Chris, Ashley's older brother, is already inside, lying on a shabby carpet and playing a new console. Only as they enter does Ashley remember that Chris is grounded for coming home drunk from a party. He's not allowed to see his friends for a month. But some of his buddies must have lent in the gaming console so he won't get too bored at home alone. Ah, because he can't pick up a book! As the front door squeaks open, he swiftly hides a pack of cigarettes under a pillow.
It's just you suckers. I thought Daddy shut up and was about to teach me how to live again. What you doing up here? Baby Ashley decided to show you our true family treasures?
Alright, Chris. Moody Chris. The shed is filled with dated furniture that looks fucking creepy, leaving out its last days on unused equipment covered in dust, plus other miscellaneous items the family are too lazy to get rid of. Like a fucking scarecrow for some unknown reason. Ashley's family is rich enough that they don't need to sell all their old junk, so a lot of it had just been stuffed into a shed. Well, I get so fucking nosy, do I? What's this? An archaic Atari Pong console. Ashley's father played as a teenager, but the only controller broke long ago, and so did the console itself. Got a punching bag. Chris's battered punching bag. Someone must have thrown hatchets and darts at it. Oh, nice. The funny scarecrow from the Bennett's field. Ashley asked Chris to steal it after the Bennett's youngest daughter had lost her doll. It was hard to believe, but Eva swore the scarecrow had moved on its own. Okay. An antique mirror. Little Ashley loved looking in it and imagining she was a Disney princess. Eva would barely even glance at the mirror. She was 110% convinced that Bloody Mary would come out of it, even if she wasn't careful. Old motorcycle? About 3 years ago, before Ashley and Brian started dating, Brian saddled it and drove it to the creek. Ashley burst into laughter and Brian was banned from visiting Ashley's house. It seemed the ban still hasn't been lifted. That's not... Motorcycle? Someone tell me on what planet this is a motorcycle. You got 2 wheels next to each other. It's a lawnmower. Hello? Did it used to be a motorcycle and they turned it into a lawnmower? Someone explain this to me, please. Chris retrieves a cigarette, pulls out... Chris receives the cigarettes and pulls out one with his teeth. Brian notes the trick. We can try it later. It's not a trick, you fucker. It looks thrilling. He doubts his attempt will look as natural as Chris's did, but it's worth a little practice. What if he manages to impress the high schoolers or the guys on the neighbouring town's baseball team? Taunting opponents and getting on their nerves is a time-honoured tradition. Brian imagines himself strolling past them, deftly pulling out a cigarette and smirking and asking why they sent a team of sissies to the... Oh,
Don't you have
jeez.
to stay in your room and feign remorse?
And what about you? Shouldn't you be catching Z's, not wandering around in the dark? Or you want to see who can disappoint our parents the most?
Oh, please. I'll beat you both to it. Disappointing your parents. Exhales a ring of blue smoke. The winner is clear.
No. Unlike you, I care about my future. We just want to watch a cassette. Why don't you just go do something else for a bit? We need the TV.
As if. Get out of here, kids.
How about you fuck off or I'll get that fucking cigarette and poke it in your eye. He turns to the TV and keeps playing. Fuck off that. Look, this is my brother. That's what you do to brothers. But Ashley isn't going to back down. Her brother is as simple and predictable as an old penny. She wouldn't even break a sweat fooling him. Go on then. All you really need to know is whose opinion matters more to him than his own. Whose personal business he cares about more than video games. What he's afraid of missing out on. What will make him jealous. Ashley's eyes narrow slyly at
I'll
Chris.
try the TV for some intel, bro.
Go on.
He's still staring at the screen through the smoke cloud, frantically clicking the controller's
We
buttons.
stumbled on your cronies out there. Sam and Bobby, right? They were asking if you're still grounded. They were pretty upset that you couldn't keep them company.
Chris throws his sister a wary glance. Sam and Bobby are real douchebags. Rumours of their wicked deeds always flying around town. Ashley knew Chris is afraid of them, but he'd still do anything to get into their gang. He's constantly schmoozing them with free drinks and
You
cigarettes.
really think I'm gonna fall for that bull?
Yeah.
It's true. I also saw them near the old water tower. They were gonna steal Pam's motorcycle and ride it to the flour mill.
Is this one of these motorcycles that look like a fucking lawnmower? Chris jumps up, nearly burning his fingers on the
Why the
cigarette.
hell were they going there?
Oh. Chris knows his sister can make up any nonsense on the spot if she wants to take advantage of something, but Eva he trusts. She's a good girl. He doubts she'd lie. Ha! Everybody lies. You can see right through his little sis. Ashley thinks she's a master manipulator, but her expression is a dead giveaway when she's lying. But Eva is different. They've known each other forever, and she never lies so blatantly. Unless, of course, it comes to stories about the ghosts that haunt the old school. Or the mysterious drowned man the girls totally met at the lake that one day.
Grandpa says truck drivers sometimes sneak bourbon into the factory in gas cans and sell it to the night shift workers. Best bourbon in the state. That's what he says.
Does he?
I bet they weren't gonna buy it. They were gonna steal it. That would be fun.
He yanks his sneakers on and rushes to the door. Before he leaves, he glances over his shoulder and sneers.
Watch out, Four Eyes. If you're just trying to ditch me, your ass is gonna be my punching bag next time. Eva, you don't count.
Oh, well, he wants Four Eyes' arse, apparently. Chris disappears into the night and Michael wipes his cold sweat from his forehead.
He isn't gonna punch me, is he?
No.
Is he, guys?
It's just Ashley's brother, not some damn high schooler who likes robbing kids.
Ashley doesn't really agree. Chris has changed lately. He used to play sports. He never smoked or followed complete idiots before. The parents are proud of his medals and trophies. Their dad claimed any college would accept Chris on an athletic scholarship if he couldn't make it academically. But once he entered a college, he would straighten out. But there's nothing left to straighten out anymore. Nobody offers scholarships for partying or hanging around bad company. Chris's boxing gloves are already gathering dust under his bed. His empty shelves and hooks aren't expecting any new awards anytime soon.
Let's just start, okay?
Yes! She glances at the moon. How? Where? The cassette is not the only reason she wants to hurry up.
Turn it on, Brian.
Oh, let's go. Brian changes the TV to AV mode and slides the cassette into the VHS player. Static noise dances on the screen, curved and covered in dust. The speakers let out a soft hiss, followed by a squeak.
Hope the tape's not blank. Otherwise, Michael's gonna get beat up for no reason.
Ah, he just said he would. Michael shivers and glances around as if Chris might already be creeping up on him. His fists are raised to strike.
It can't be blank. Hurry up and take your seats. We don't want to miss anything.
You're saying that now, pal. Eva settles down against one of the pillows and her friends follow suit. The TV continues flickering, disrupting the peace of the shed. The wind sweeps out the fields and descends onto the suburb, sneaking through the streets like a wild animal prowling for prey. It shoves the shed, making it sway and creak like a popping joint. The running lamp flickers, casting shadows on the piles of garbage in the corners.
Is there any other light in here?
No. As if to answer Michael's question, a picture begins to form on the screen. The black and grey static stripes morph into an image, taking on colours and shapes. One part becomes studio walls. Another area changes into the decorated set of a Friday night show. Hello. The rest turn into the body of a game show host wearing a striped suit jacket. The host is half turned and staring at the camera as if waiting for a director's signal to start, or trying to see the audience on the other side of the screen.
At least he's not a maniac.
Says who? He's wearing a striped suit and his hair slicked back. He's got his hands like that for a start.
Don't speak too soon.
He looks like a bloody little rat. Rat man. Look at him! An invisible orchestra bursts into music, so cacophonous that the players should have been whipped for their miserable performance and never allowed to lay hands on the instrument again.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, my sweet and miserable guests, to the most unique, funniest...
Oh no, not a maniac, right? No, not fucking off. Holy shit! Look at him! The angle abruptly changes and the studio looks less bright and cheerful. No, it looks like a dungeon and he's grinning like a fucking psycho. The walls have lost their false gloss and bright hues. Half the spotlights go out and those that remain are only dim. But the host keeps smiling.
To the most unique, funniest, and scariest show on TV.
Ah, yeah. You're gonna have to do a lot better than that, scare me. Come on. The things exchange puzzled glances.
I bet my hand that this is something you've never seen before and will never see again. Sadly, I've got nothing left to bet. I ate my hand before the show.
First of all, are you drunk? Second of all, you didn't because I've just seen you have two hands, so you're lying. So in the background, canned laughter and applause ring out. The teenagers can certainly believe the host really did devour his hand for the show. No, you can't, because he just sat there with two hands. His behaviour is odd. His speech is too dramatic. He keeps breaking into screams, choking on his cackling. Somehow, he managed to act both insanely cheerful and inappropriately gloomy at the same time, all depending on the angle the producer chooses.
Bullshit. What a waste of time.
Wait a minute. Wait, let's finish the tape first.
No, wait, let's just watch a little longer.
Yes.
I've never heard of this show. How about we give it a chance?
Yes, what she said. Michael and Brian nod, staring intently at the flickering screen. Christ. The host, as if waiting for their verdict, steps back from the camera and holds his hands, hands, out in an inviting gesture.
So come on, take a seat, the broken and prideful.
Ah, cat, shit, I've just shit myself. Alan! The shot changes.
The reserved and those embracing everything new.
Fuck. The shot changes.
The brave, cowardly, dependent, and free. Get comfortable. Enjoy!
With a pointy nose. The screen ripples. The host's voice dwindles, then deepens. It sounds muffled, as if it's emanating from a cellar filled with soil.
Yourself.
The picture dissolves into rippled black and white mess, and a terrible crack bursts out of the speakers.
And that's enough for today.
Is that it?
What if there's more? Who'd spoil a whole cassette to record such a short clip?
I ain't got a fucking clue, mate. Eva gets up from the pillow and goes up to the VHS to fast forward a bit. Her hand is already outstretched when the beeps speed up. They boom out bass. Suddenly, the beep sounds subdued. A steady hum emanates from the speakers. Eva freezes, purring at the screen.
How's he doing it?
What? No one answers. Whoa, fuck! You end the episode there and I'm gonna get royally pissed, thank you. Act 5. Back to the drawing board. Well, I'm intrigued. The noise pouring out the speakers absorbs all of the sounds, but it isn't hissing, cracking, or howling anymore. It's knocking. At first it's monotonous, but the knocking soon speeds up. It belts their eardrums like an old alarm clock, mercilessly rattling every morning. Eva shakes her head to drive away a nightmarish vision and rubs her face with her palms. But the knocking is still there, and Eva knows what's making it. It's a branch on the old hazel tree her father has been threatening to cut down for 2 years. It must have once again gotten its gnarled fingers caught on the windowsill. It scratches the window every time the wind blows. But today, a true storm is raging outside. The rain lashes the window, covering it in dirty spots, as the hurricane-like gusts shake the hazel tree like a school bully shaking down a junior. Confused, Eva checks her bedroom. Everything looks as usual there. The table and the shelves are perfectly arranged, the bed carefully made. Even the posters are still hanging in a strict line, as if in an art exhibit. Eva loves it when everything is in place. Whenever her mother is overwhelmed at work, Eva and her father are left responsible for cleaning the house. And the less you litter, the less you have to clean. Alright, what have we got here? A Tillandsia flower. It looks like it sprang straight out of the page of a fairy tale. A fan gave it to her mother at an exhibition, and it's growing in a pot Ashley had made during an extracurricular pottery workshop. The pot isn't the best, but Eva will never swap it out for another one. The book Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Eva adored it as a kid. Now she's rereading it to her younger brother. A VHS collection. There's a light mystery in the first row. Behind it are the slashers. The third row is reserved for Italian horror movies, marked with the strange word giallo. And behind everything else, hidden in a Cinderella case, the creepy movie Necromancer is waiting for its time to shine. It's better if her mother doesn't know about it. Oh dear. A feather. Their parrot Sancho lived for 6 years. His loss was unbearable, so Eva still had one of his feathers as a keepsake. At first, she couldn't handle looking at it. She'd burst into tears every time she saw it. That's sad. A family photograph. It was taken the day Eva got her first braces. Tony was tiny back then, and their parents looked happy. Her mother wasn't absorbed in her art career yet. Back then, she cared about her family more than canvases and paints. Oh dear. Eva's head shoots up as she hears quiet steps approaching.
Tony?
Oh, look at him! Look at him! Her brother is standing by the door, shifting from one foot to the other and holding a thick cardboard cup with a string snake through the bottom. The string writhes on the floor and crawls through the hallway. He's so cute! His long-sleeved shirt with a pink dinosaur was Dad's gift to him last Christmas. Since then, Tony takes it off only at bedtime and for the laundry. Lately, Eva's brother always looks a little confused, as though he's only wandered into his room by accident after getting lost in his own home. His big eyes hold a strange expression she can't quite explain or describe. No matter how much she talks to him, words are never enough. Even when all of his most important questions are answered, Tony just comes up with new ones.
I fixed her thread. String telephone. Here. Yesterday I could barely hear anything.
Eva takes the cup and puts it on her nightstand.
It's time to go to bed, baby. When you're all set, pull the string twice and I'll read some bedtime stories for you.
She ruffles his hair and he happily runs back to his bedroom. That is so cute. They often talk to each other before bedtime because Tony isn't used to falling asleep alone. She has to chat with him, weave magical stories, retell movies and comic plots until he starts snoring. That's quite sweet. The string slowly tightens and lifts up from the floor, which means Tony is already in bed and ready to listen. Eva put the cup to her ear. She heard familiar creaks and rustles from the other
Can
side.
you hear me, Tony?
Loud and clear. I fell asleep today. By myself. Well, I almost did, but then a huge storm hit. Thunder. And something clicked in the closet, so well...
Oh dear, what? He doesn't finish. He's ashamed of his childish behaviour, though he does his best to look brave for Eva. Well, he is a child. But blaming him for his fears would be foolish. Of course kids are scared when a storm is raging and thunder is crashing right outside, especially if their room is dark and windowless. Windowless? What, does he live in a cupboard? It's easier for Eva. As a child, she learned to befriend her fears. She often left a bowl of milk or a handful of candy out in case a monster was lurking under the bed. Yeah, alright, Eva. Who the fuck does that? Then it's not a monster anymore, but a little buddy rustling candy wrappers in the middle of the night. This girl ain't normal. Tony isn't the same as her, though. No, he's normal. And she has to accept that.
Then close your eyes and listen.
Oh shit, sorry. I got overexcited. They're surrounded by routine. She wants to calm Tony down the way she used to wish her father sweet dreams, to leave a croissant for her mother in the kitchen so that she'll remember not to drink milk or coffee on an empty stomach. Right, because drinking coffee on an empty stomach or milk does what exactly?
What's the story about? Is it scary? I don't really want to hear a scary story today.
No, it's a legend about a magical arcade machine that teleports brave and obedient kids into its world of adventures.
For some reason, amid the whirlwind of thoughts and images racing through her mind, she chooses an arcade machine, or rather, it chooses itself, as if it were alive. It appears in her mind's eye in all of its beauty, that black, oily luster and 2 scarlet buttons. But she can't present it to Tony as is. It needs to be wrapped in something brighter, lighter, and more mysterious. Her baby brother sighs with excitement.
It must be dangerous there. There are lots of monsters in games.
It's an adventure. It wouldn't be an adventure without monsters.
Ah! What the fuck is that? Is that our fucking mother? Without warning, someone opens the door. The string falls limp. Eva drops the cup and gasps. Her mother enters the room, tired, dishevelled, and soaked in the odour of solvent, paints and coffee. What the fuck? Perhaps she's worked too long again and remembered that she missed dinner only after her dizziness and lower back pain reared up. She always complains about that to Eva's father.
Didn't hear you come home. Why are you up so late?
Why do you fucking care? She glances at cut rolling on the floor. Eva's mother can scarcely understand what her children are up to. We're talking to them through a cup and a string! What does it look like? What's all the late night storytelling for? Why can't Tony just go to bed and fall asleep? Because he hasn't got a mother to help him go to sleep, because she's up to fucking painting and covering herself in other sorts of shit and drinking coffee and not being there for her kids. That's why. He's shocked every time one of them outgrows last year's clothes. God, this annoys me. It's going to trigger me. Even now, surprise lights up on her reddened eyes.
Chatting with Tony again? He needs to learn to fall asleep on his own. Tell him to brush his teeth and go to bed right now. At least that will put these toys to good use.
Fuck! You fucking useless bitch. I'm sorry. No. He's like fucking 10 or something. His mother has never been there. Like she just said, for years, she's been non-existent. He's a kid. Like there's a storm and he's scared. You go and tell him. Oh, this is going to really make me angry, you fucking fuckface. My cat's staring at me. What's the matter? You want feeding? Fucking hell, hold on.
Of course, Mom. Tony's almost asleep. Oh, today was so long, but cool. We cleaned up the chemistry room, then we went to the arcade center, and then I came back home.
She doesn't care. Eva stops abruptly. Something's missing. Something crucial. But she can't remember. Judging by her wandering gaze, her mother still hasn't returned from the world of images, shades, and episodes of other people's lives, all captured on canvas.
You know what? You're right. Tony ought to fall asleep without my chatter tonight. Good night, Mom.
Get out my room, Mom. She doesn't even get a smile in return. No. It's as if her mother's emotions are being drained out of her, like water from a shattered vase. Perhaps they've settled on her canvases instead, leaving not a single drop for real life. Year after year, her work has devoured her, turning her into a completely different person.
Good night, darling. I think I'm gonna have a cup of milk and go to bed too.
Aye, yes, Mom. Milk. 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 Come on. Like, look at the state of this woman. If you seriously think this woman's gonna go and have a cup of milk and go to bed, what world are we living in? What fantasy land? She's gonna go down to the cupboard and she's gonna get a fucking glass of vodka. Fucking milk my ass. Well, you know.
Mom going to bed? No, not her.
Even though her mother will go back to her workshop soon, she won't fall asleep until dawn, completely exhausted, next to her easel. When her mother closes the door behind her, Eva picks the cardboard phone up and hangs it on the hook her dad screwed into the wall, specifically to hold it. The cup hardly even touches Eva's hands when the string tightens again.
Tony, go to bed. Mom just came and scolded us for chatting.
Fuck her.
You promised me a story about an arcade machine.
Eva suddenly feels so exhausted that she can't fathom making up even the simplest story. Not even another yarn about the brave veggie kingdom she stuffed his ears with since childhood to teach him to love healthy food. As if she's inherited part of her mother's fatigue. Yeah, 'cause it affects you. Eva's eyes water from drowsiness and her legs go weak. Eva's not one to upset Tony, but it's really late. They should have been in bed long ago, and there's no better weather for curling up under a warm, cosy blanket. But Tony's about to let her go that fast. For him, it isn't just rain or lightning outside. It's bloodthirsty creatures lurking beyond the walls, and only Eva's voice can keep their shadows from seeping through the air vents or the cracks in the plaster.
Go to bed, little one. I'll come up with 2 adventures for you tomorrow, I promise.
Tony wants to protest, but the offer is too tempting. Sometimes he begs her to make up new stories about his favourite characters, but he mostly listens. 2 whole stories, waiting for him the next night? That feels like a fair trade for one night's peace. Besides, the thunder has already stopped splitting the sky, and now only the rain is rustling softly against the roof and the grass outside.
Okay.
I'm sorry, mate.
Sweet dreams.
Your mother's a... I nearly said a bad word. Sweet dreams. She puts the cup away, her eyelids seem insanely heavy, but strange thoughts still occupy her mind. Not even bothering to put on her pyjamas, Eva collapses onto her bed and presses her cheeks against the pillow. Today really was long and hard. So much happened. The outburst in chemistry class, cleaning, walking along Riverwood Park with her friends, the shopping square and the arcade centre.
What was next?
I love how, when you're young, all of that seems like a lot, and then you'll go to bed knackered, and then you get to an adult where you have to do like real stuff. You know? Then you realise how fucking tired you are. There's a blank space in the memory between the arcade and coming back home. Fragments of phrases, merry, beeping music, a flickering light, and clouding it all, a black and white haze. How does she not remember the videotape? The lethargy evaporates. Eva rolls onto her back and stares at the ceiling. Something else definitely happened. But the memory keeps slipping away, getting lost. Something important happened at the arcade centre. It's clinging to her and her friends like a parasite, stubbornly pulling them into the darkness, engulfing Riverwood. Of course, the old town has been keeping the secrets of many generations. The ghosts of the ancient church Eve's grandmother told her about, the cursed coin, the bodies buried in the foundation of the town hall. But those are just legends. No evidence of them has ever been found. She just needs to remember how she, Ashley, Brian and Michael stepped into the arcade centre, and then she hears a silent rustle next to her. The makeshift phone is calling along the nightstand. I beg your pardon. Eva just managed to catch it before it falls. She quickly presses the cup to her lips.
Tony, you're still awake?
Ah! Fuck! A sickening splitting screech is the only response. That made me jump. Astonished, Eva can hardly suppress her scream. That sounds just like the electric timer in the art workshop attic. Her mum set it up so that the jarring sound would distract her from her work every 3 hours. Alan, it reminds her that there are other people living in the house who she should spend time with. Wow. We've got the mother of the year or what, boy? But why was that shriek next to her baby brother? She doubts Tony took the timer to his room. Oh, Jesus. Where is he? Eva hurries into his room to check on him. The bed is empty. Eva throws up her hands. Tony rarely leaves his room at night. He always leaves a cup of water or milk on his nightstand before bed, so he wouldn't have to go to the kitchen. And he would have passed Eva's room if he'd gone to the bathroom. If nothing else, she definitely should have heard his footsteps. There's only one other place where Tony and her mum's alarm clock could be at the same time. It isn't something he normally does, but you can't think of a better explanation. There's only one other place where Tony and her mum's alarm clock could be at the same time. It isn't something he normally does, but she can't think of a better explanation.
What a silly boy. Why did you go to the workshop?
Oh god, I've got a really bad feeling. Why are we looking in the dark?
He should know better. He'll have bad dreams if he looks at Mom's paintings.
How about I want to see me mother's paintings? And if they don't give me the willies, I'm going to be disappointed. They could influence even an adult's mind so terribly that there's always a nurse on standby at her exhibit. Are you... Give me a break! Ready to tend to those impressionable... Who wrote this? Look, listen. How... No adult, no art exhibition is going to have a fucking nurse on standby because of a painting. How terrifying can a painting be? Show me. A challenge accepted. Show me. The thought of what Tony might see... I mean, as a kid, yes, obviously. An image can scare a child, but not an adult. The thought of what Tony might see horrifies Eva. She remembers how Ashley tossed and turned, unable to sleep, after visiting the workshop during a sleepover. How she had complained about nightmares afterwards. If her brother sees those paintings, she'll be up all night distracting him from anxious thoughts. As for the next day, not even 2 stories will be enough.
Tony, what's up with the radio silence?
Not a single sound comes from the other side of the toy phone. Eva doesn't like it when Mom scolds her, and she likes it even less when the one being scolded is Tony, and her brother's 110% going to be punished for going into Mom's workshop without permission. Eva creeps into the hall and peers around carefully. Oh, Jesus. Why is it so dark? Only now does she notice the string leads towards the attic. It's hard to discern on the first try, as it's lying right in line with the baseboard. Eva timidly passes her parents' bedroom and hesitates by the stairs leading up to the 2nd floor. Even there, a few of her mother's paintings, unpleasant to look at in the dim light, are hung on the walls. Eva is used to them, but Tony still rushes past the hall, sometimes shutting his eyes. Show me these feckin' paintings. Their father had been planning to take them down or move them somewhere else, but doesn't want to upset his wife. He has no idea how to bring it up, well, because he's weak. So, the image of a woman pressing her palms to her face is still staring into the corridor with white eyes. A black silhouette flits on the left side of the stairs. Eva presses the cups to her lip and whispers,
Tony, go downstairs while Mom's in the kitchen. I'm coming up, but if Mom catches us both, I'll get in trouble first, and I'll have every right to be mad at you, Tony. Who knows? Maybe you won't be getting an ice cream this weekend.
She smiles and walks upstairs. You're not going to be smiling in a minute, love, when your brother's dead. It's really hard to stay angry at little brother. He is cute. Oh, Christ. All over the stairs are slinkies of all colours. Tony's always playing with them on the stairs, racing them and setting them up like they're contestants. Rabbit Mo. Mo. A stitched up teddy bear named Pig and a shapeless stuffed owl Eva bought at an autumn fair. Whichever slinky wins spends the night in Tony's bed as a reward. But Tony usually carefully cleans up after himself every night and puts the slinkies back into their signed boxes. The mess he's left tonight is completely inexplicable. Inexplicable. There's a few toys on the stairs. And Tony isn't on the stairs. The phone string is laced through the gap under the door at the top. Oh hell no, boy. Eve switches the light on. A twisted light fixture flashes on, illuminating the workshop door and the sign hung on it. Keep out, nosy. The words are written with an extremely beautiful script. Her mother's handwriting. A funny sketch of a 3-headed dog guards the door. Eva painted that hellhound 2 years ago when she was into Greek mythology. Her mother was delighted that her daughter liked painting too, but it was Eva's last drawing. Oh my word. The door opens at ease, letting Eva into a short, narrow hallway. The mother was usually scolding kids for coming in without permission. Eva had a rare chance to see new and failed works. Or nada. But it isn't the kind of rule Eva's tempted to break. The older she gets, the less she cares about her mum's paintings. It isn't the framed nightmare she wants to see, but the person who creates them. Well, yeah. The paintings make a lasting impression on everyone. Some are enchanting, others are frightening. Mum mostly paints people, or, to be more precise, their emotions. Eva prefers paintings of fairies, magic and fantasies, or ordinary photographs. At least that kind of art doesn't make Eva wonder why an orphan who's just been taken in by a family is crying amid their adoptive parents' shared joy. Or why the wife of an unlucky worker is sad when he wins a considerable sum in the lottery. Taking a breath, Eva heads deeper into the workshop. The darkness thickens. It feels dense and sticky, like sweet jelly. With every moment that passes, it feels more distinct on the skin, tangling in her hair and staining her blouse in patches. Oh my word, look at that painting up there, fucking hell. I mean, it wouldn't give me nightmares, but it's not very nice, is it, for a kid? The light switch is right next to a painting depicting hunger. As she reaches for the switch, Eva thinks about touching the cold, sallow skin of the dying girl in the picture. Meanwhile, a self-portrait of her mother, who looks more like a shriveled up corpse than herself, rears back as if she's about to sink her loose teeth into Eva's fingers. I'm turning on the light, are you serious? The lamps flicker frantically, choked by the darkness. Dad promised to fix wiring a month ago, but so far he's only opened the breaker panel.
Perfect timing.
Eva mumbles aloud just to hear the reassuring sound of her own voice, and to attract Tony's attention. Though her brother isn't naughty, sometimes he hides and waits for someone to find him, but only ever in his bedroom or Eva's.
Why in the world did he go to the workshop this late?
What in the shit? Eva begins to coil the string around in her hand. The hope that it's all just a dumb prank or a silly childish game shields her from her darkest thoughts. And yet, everything feels strange, wrong. It's nothing like what she's used to. She wants the game to end with a stupid cry of boo from around the corner.
Tony must have hidden behind some old canvases or the curtain. There's nowhere else to hide in here, so finding him will be a piece of cake.
In the darkness, she trips over one of the paintings.
Damn it!
Overcoming her unease, Eva realises she's angry. At Tony, at Dad, at Mum, the house, that wretched workshop where you can't even take a single step without tripping over some nightmare. It's like the frames, the rolled up canvases, and the stools are throwing themselves under her feet on purpose. In the void, it depicts a broken woman who's lost her baby at childbirth. The heartbroken mother has sunk to the floor, wrapping her arms around her stomach. A pool of blood is spreading beneath her. Touchworks are especially successful at exhibits. Once, her mother even took her art to a personal show in Indianapolis. Apparently that's why she's been painting more and more. The sadness, pain and tragedy of an ordinary person resonate the most with her audience. The Old Fisherman. It's a silhouette of an old man on a pier. If you look closely, you can see that he has neither fishing rods nor other gear. Only a single knife. The water around the old man's feet, dispersing into the lake, has a crimson hue. The fish has fed his family for years. Maybe he's decided to return the favour. The Nameless, an unfinished work. A happy woman is carrying a puppy wrapped in sheets. Suddenly, Eve realises there's something wrong with the paintings. Her mother usually paints people's features and facial expressions in intricate details to convey the most valuable aspect of her art, emotions. Oh no, they have changed. Now the paintings are a mess of paint instead of faces, as they've been ruined by smearing them with wet palms. Although she didn't look like that earlier.
Tony, you better come out! This isn't funny. Both of us are gonna be punished if Mom...
Oh, Jesus. The string caught up around Eve's hand tightens.
That's better. Now to see where it leads.
Eva slowly paces through the workshop, feeling the pervasive blackness on her skin. Wherever this fucking string leads to, I feel like I'm going to shit my pants. Nameless, unfinished, and spoiled paintings stare at her from the corners. Wall hooks and sloping shelves like abandoned children. Somehow, the disfigured faces are visible even in the gloom, as if Mum's added phosphorus to the paint. Seeing all those flickering silhouettes creeps Eva out. The fear crawls under her skin like hundreds of insects. It bites into her bones with its icy teeth and sucks out the heat. Whoa! For a split second, a flash of lightning illuminates the room. Eva falls to the floor in shock. What she sees defies any logical explanation. The string, vibrating with tension, leads directly into a thick darkness, clad in a gilded frame, like a pool of dark water swallowing the toy. Oh my word. The easel stands in the very centre of the room, though Eva could swear it wasn't there a moment ago. It feels like the unfinished painting on the shelves are closing in, the painted figures patiently staring at her. The string twitches and squirms in her grip, becoming harder to hold every second. Eva struggles to breathe. Fear floods her body, tightening around her limbs and tangling her thoughts. She hesitantly raises her eyes and looks deep into the inky black painting. Instantly, a wave of cold air washes over her, and a spray of tiny droplets hit her face. A bitter, biting wind blows on the bottomless canvas, its gusts carrying an icy drizzle. The painting absorbs the light cast from the window. Eve stares in horror at her hand as the ill-fated string cuts into it. For a second, she's tempted to get rid of it, to chop it off with a knife, but what if it's the last thread connecting her to Tony? She dares not approach the painting. Doubts bombarded her as a sticky fear muddled her mind. I'm not leaving him there. Eva gently pulls on the cup. On the other side of the painting, someone or something pulls the string frantically in response. A plea for help. Defenseless before an unknown threat, despair saturates every movement. Once she promised to protect Tony from any danger, real or imaginary, and until tonight, she's never broken that vow, and Tony promised to never let anything happen to either once he grows up. Though she can't see or hear him, their thoughts reach out to him to their happiest moments together. Warm memories of Tony's childhood popped into her head, shielding Eva from an impending madness. Whoa. The ecstatic father announcing that she's going to have a little brother. Eva thoroughly prepares for his appearance, arranging bouquets of wild flowers and cutting out cardboard stars and rabbits. Before going to bed, she dreams of how they'll rewatch the never-ending story together. The baby arriving, joyful and bright, as if from a fairy tale world. He laughs in his cradle, looking at his sister. He sticks his hand out and grabs Eva's, his tiny palm clutching her finger surprisingly tight. Playing together among loose snowdrifts, magically driven in on Christmas Eve. Tony tires quickly and constantly falls, his blue boots lifting up to the sky. He whimpers, but Eva picks him up and carries him on her shoulders. He laughs and hugs her with warm palms. And now, amid the nightmare that's desecrated their home, Eva silently begs Tony to grasp the string as tightly as he used to squeeze her finger and never let go. In return, she swears she'll give him 100 slinkies of every colour of the rainbow. Mountains of lollipops, clouds of cotton candy, which Mum forbids him from eating. Anything to keep Tony's fingers tight. Groaning, Eva yanks at the string. The painting applies with another gust of icy wind and splatter of drizzle that covers the workshop floor, with dirty marks if it's not water, but paint. The droplets fly in all directions, staining the neighbouring paintings and sketches. When a few splatters hit the canvas, the painting comes to life and begins to change. What the fuck? The young and the old, men and women, already frozen in unimaginable poses, are losing their natural appearance. Their arms grow longer, their joints contort their fingers, their legs bend in the wrong direction, as if they're locusts. And the faces, oh Jesus. What was a shapeless mess a moment ago is now morphing into mutilated features. They look like careless sketches, distorting the emotions Eva's mother intended to depict. revealing them from another, previous invisible angle. Eva tugs the string, hard. She puts everything into it. Her desperation, love, and fury at the nightmare swallowing their home into its bubbling depth. Whatever lurks on the other side of the canvas, it will not take her baby brother. She has always protected him, always saved him from nightmares, and she's not about to let anyone hurt him now, no matter what monsters, real or unreal, come crawling
I
out.
won't give him up. Never!
And her mother's collection of black pearls surrenders. The disfigured people in the paintings curiously observe what's happening, perhaps even delighting in their struggle. But Eva's afraid that if she looks back, she'll lose her mind. She takes one step forward, then another. The otherworldly wind gusts make her sway, dousing her in a pungent stench of paints and solvents. It knocks the wind out of her. Her heart almost stops, skipping a few beats before hammering against her chest once again. Her shirt is soaking wet, growing tight and uncomfortable. Sweat pours off her face and freezes on her cheeks.
Don't look. Turn away. Go away.
But Eva doesn't listen to her inner voice. Slowly, as if stuck in resin, she wades through the congealed air towards the painting in the gilded frame. Oh my god. The string in her fingers turns sticky and viscous, soaked in a glossy liquid. Pull! Something heavy attached to the opposite end slips across the floor. Eva's mind wails and begs her to turn away and run, to shield herself with the door, but she just can't. Pull! Pull! The mysterious catch inches closer. Pick up! Her fingers touch something soft and wet. Strands of the disturbing substance cling to her hands. Hair. It's heavy. It's heavily smeared with scarlet. A puddle of stunningly rich red begins to spread across the floor. It's almost flaming in the dark. Look at that face! Eva collapses to her knees and wraps her arms around the depict. Oh my god, no it's not. Eva collapses to her knees and wraps her arms around the decapitated head of the kindest, most innocent humans ever known. Are you serious? Wait, hold on a minute. Are you actually serious? This is his decapitated head? You just throw in a decapitated head? Hello? The toy phone string hangs down, hooked onto the crevices of his vertebrae. It looks like someone has ripped the head off his body as easily as tearing the cap off a ballpoint pen. I don't even know what to say. I'm shocked. Genuinely. Tony's eyes are as cloudy and empty as a fish's. His mouth is frozen in a death wail. Black blood oozes from his nostrils. It's unimaginable, cruel and unfair. No world can be so brutal as to let something like this happen. Not even in the stories. Not with Tony. Not with her baby brother.
No way.
No, it's a dream. She sways, feeling neither the cold nor the droplets drizzling out from the painting in the gilded frame.
This can't be happening. It's hypnosis, hallucinations, black witchcraft, or someone's imagination.
Yeah, it's not real.
Story of intent.
Eva suddenly realises that a painting of her sitting in the middle of the studio and cradling Tony's head would look great in her mother's new collection. Tragedy and pain, fear and tears. People would be glad to buy it, showering the artist with praise. They would rapturously stare at Eva's lips, contorted with grief, her eyes wet with tears, her gnarled fingers frozen on Tony's mutilated flesh. They would admire her expression, warped with torment and tension so great that she felt like a weary old woman trapped in a child's body. The horror that thought evokes is sobering.
I can't just sit back and wait for another terrible thing to happen so that I won't be able to change or forget it. I have to get away. Run. Save myself and our parents.
Well, you can fuck her mother for a start. She's screwed. Many of the heroes that inspire Eva so much had tough challenges. It always seems impossible to defeat hordes of creepy creatures, escape an insidious trap, or cheat death. But if you don't retreat or give up, if you make progress towards your goal, no one can. A flash of lightning floods the room, followed by a shuddering thunderclap. Reality is a lot different from fictional stories, no matter how good or full of morals they are, and the fear is different too. It's impossible to hide from it by simply closing the book or turning the TV off. The paintings come to life. Oh my feck. The characters liberate themselves from the captivity of canvas and frame. The paint transforms into skin and flesh. The subjects look almost like people, all except for their distorted proportions, some becoming even more deformed. Oh my feck. But the worst part is the unfinished paintings with the inhabitants still capable of moving. They crawl out, jump like toads, hobble forward on stick-straight legs. They lack heads and limbs. The sketches turn into an awful winds, bloodless and dry. Barely moving, Eva takes one last look at her brother's head. It's real.
I'm sorry, my little boy. I can't stay with you anymore. I'm so sorry.
Eva drops her head and slowly gets to her feet. The painting in the gilded frame now reaches all the way to the ceiling. The wind and splashes of thick blackness have ceased sloshing out of it. Instead, brushstrokes start materialising amid the inky, impenetrable abyss. Crimson and grey, a little white, green, and buckets of red. Eva steps back. She knows exactly what will be in this painting.
Don't you dare. Whoever you are, don't you dare.
But the invisible artist is unstoppable. It relishes its power. To them, Eva and her unlucky brother's lives are more worthless than oil paint. It will finish, wipe the brush clean, and forget all about the miserable siblings. Wow. Just a little time and a dozen heartbeats seem to have come by. The canvas revealed a small, headless, skinny boy, tightened into dirty pajamas. Dead Tony in the middle of the workshop. But he isn't centered. It's missing a detail. Next to him, there's just enough space for one 14-year-old girl. Maybe she'll be mourning. Maybe she'll be a bloated corpse, unable to escape the workshop alive. Oh, Jesus Christ. The instant the last stroke dries, the disfigured body turns to Eva. She can't see their faces or eyes, but she knows they're looking at her. Oh, Lord above. The body slits forward to her, to bury her forever in a coffin of canvas and paint. Oh my God, the face there to the right, that fucking scared me. I didn't see it on my main monitor. Oh my word. Eva shrieks. Eva shrieks so loud that her cry should wake not only her parents, but the neighbours as well. But the house only answers the silence. The girl rushes to the workshop door, but it's jammed shut and the handle won't budge. Push it down! Shadows slither closer. They don't make a sound, but from her periphery, Eva can see a revolting crowd of revived characters. They're in no rush. They know Eva has nowhere to run. Now it's their home, their exhibit, and sooner or later, their magnum opus will be complete. Push down harder. The door surrenders and slams into the wall behind it. Eva flies downstairs and pauses in the hall, sucking in a deep breath. The world in her eyes ripples and fades away, as if distorted by television static.
Dad! Daddy!
The scream sinks in the emptiness of the house like a stone falling into a deep well. No echo, no response, not even a ripple. Only a deathly silence.
Help me, Dad!
The walls devour every word.
Dad's sleeping too deep. Otherwise, he'd definitely hear me. And Mom, she must have fallen asleep by the coffee pot.
Ah, Mom's in on it. Eva clenches her fist helplessly. There's no time, but nothing is enough to wake her parents. And the thoughts of being embraced by the very arms that painted all those horrors makes her stomach churn. Eva suspects her mother is gifted with some kind of supernatural power, the kind that leads people to unknown paths, to where nightmares live, to where only prophets and ancient witches dare tread, even. An hour earlier, she would never have believed it, but after what she witnessed in the workshop, seeking inspiration, her mother has found something forbidden and let it loose. Eva can't convince herself it was an accident.
Mom must be in the kitchen. Otherwise, I would have already run into her here or in the workshop. I'll have to wake her up first, and then together we can...
What? Ah, shit, fuck off! Something clatters on the pissing stairs! Shit, that scared me. It's like, it's sensing their, what? Sensing their prey escaping, the human-like beasts speed up. The first is crawling downstairs, leaning against the wall, with hacked-off limbs. Oh my word. One glimpse of that monstrosity is enough to forget any exhaustion, painting, or headache. Run, bitch! Eva rushes towards her parents' bedroom. In the dimness, she trips. Oh, of course she does. And all but smashes her nose. But the pain of that noise, but the pain of falling is the least of her concerns. Just like she did after watching horror movies or creepy cartoons as a child, she rushes through the dark hall into her parents' room. Nowhere in the world was safer than their bed. Laughing, her father would build up a cozy pillow fort where she could hide from the ghosts or critters. Dad was always there for them, helping as much as he could until work swallowed him whole. Eva and Ashley wanted a treehouse. Dad never asked why. He just needed to know what they wanted it to look like and where to bring the boards. The kids wanted to go on a trip to the farm by the lake. He helped them pack, brought them snacks and reminded them to stay away from the water. He even gave Brian a homemade baseball bat and a knowing wink. Dad's never lied to her or let her down. She's always been able to count on him.
Dad's here somewhere. He's strong. He'll protect me. He'll fight them off.
How doesn't matter. She just wants to snuggle up to someone close, warm, alive, someone without an otherworldly stench.
Daddy? He must be somewhere here. Even if Mom's still sitting in the kitchen, he's definitely catching Z's now because he gets up for work at 5 a.m. Dad? Where are you?
Eva grabs the bed and pulls herself up. But in her haste, she's forgotten that the workshop is not the only place her mother hangs her paintings. Oh god. The bedroom is decorated with luxurious canvases some Central European weirdo once ordered and even partially paid for. As a kid, when Eva was still slightly interested in art, she used to love sitting in her dad's armchair and gazing at that painting. In it, an aristocratic family competing in the sophistication of their wigs and the brightness of their makeup are gathered around a long table, ready to eat. Well, they're supposed to anyway, but Mum viewed their feast a little differently. Oh god. The men and women sit gloomily at an empty table. A huge plate lies before them, devoid of anything but a handful of wheat spattered with blood. The big picture window in the background reveals a view of scorched fields, the blackened remains of burnt houses, and the peasants' broken mills. Eva didn't really know what the client was looking for, but he had certainly been unhappy with the way her mother had depicted his family. That's why the picture has even more insulting details now, like a servant wielding a log to fight off a pair of fat rats. Compared to her mother's other works, Eva liked this one, but today... What in the world? Dangling out the canvas are her father's legs, floundering in a pathetic attempt to escape captivity. Lunging forward, Eva grabs her father's shins, but that split second of hesitation is just enough for the painting to completely swallow the strong man. The painting turns hazy, then mutates. Now the aristocratic face is shining with the light. Oh my fuck. Is that our father? On the table, nauseously seared and shrouded in a baked crust, lies Z's father, who fits perfectly on the enormous plate. This has descended into absolute fucking... This has escalated immensely. This has gone from sort of normal teenager shit to the most horrific, awful... I don't even have the words. The head of the family is sharpening a knife, and the guests leer at their cannibalistic feast. Look at their fucking faces! He can't wait to get a bite. Clutching exquisite forks with plump fingers, even the rats wait under the table, hoping to grab a scrap or two. The air is awash with the sickening odour of paint, solvent, barbecue. Eva grimaces in terror. Look at him. She wants to howl, groan, call for help, but she can only spit out unintelligible sounds, like a sheep trying to bleat after its throat is slashed open. Oh god, Jesus. Everything precious to her has disappeared into a damn nightmare. Her brothers laugh. Weekend walks with Mum and Dad. the comfortable home her parents devoted years to creating. The paintings have taken all that away. But what's happened to them? What bloody backwards has her mother's talent led her to? After all, she painted them. She put a piece of her soul into each of them, as she liked telling her audience at exhibitions.
What kind of soul does she really have?
Well, I could tell you. The very idea hurts. Worse yet, Eva doesn't even want to see her mother anymore. She can't bring herself to run to the kitchen and tell her what's happened. It makes no sense. Her mother made her choice, and that choice killed Dad and Tony. And if Eva doesn't escape and tell someone, she'll be next. She has to. Even if people think she's crazy, she doesn't care.
If Mom wants to live in a world of madness and cruelty, there's no saving her.
No.
You chose the company of your paintings. You love them harder than your own kids. So stay with them. Forever. To the front door, now!
The keys are always hanging on a decorative key holder their father made at work. It's an exact replica of their house, made with love and attention to every detail. But now the keys are nowhere to be found. They were not on the dressing room shelves, the phone table, or under the rug. Desperate, Eva kicks the damn door, the last barrier between life and death. The door feels like a solid brick wall. Dad put so much time and effort into making it strong and sturdy to protect his family from anything outside. He couldn't have imagined that the real danger would come from within. Now, that very same door is sealing Eva inside a house of nightmares.
Budge! No, no! Am I never gonna get out of here?
She looks around, helplessly searching for another escape route. Suddenly, her gaze lands on the most useless thing in their house. The dog door. Eva's always dreamed of having as many pets as possible, but since her parents' death and all the tears she shed for him, her parents have been afraid to bring new pets home. But last year, after Eva ranked among the top 5 students in her class, instead of giving her a gift, her father cut out this pet door, a hint that soon...
I can squeeze through. Tony always gets in and out easily when he's pretending to be a dog. If he can do it, I can too.
Ah, of course you can. Get in there, love. Eva drops to her knees and calls to the door. It's hard to squeeze her whole body in, so she puts her right hand through and pushes with her legs.
Yes, just a bit farther now.
The smell of rain-soaked soil and pavement hit her nose. The rain relentlessly lashes against the porch and the roof of the car parked by the garage, gathering in murky torrents in the gutters. The air feels damp and clean, no trace of the workshop's suffocating stench. Even the night seems surprisingly bright. Paintings and painted monsters have no place outside. They dare follow her, surely the rain will finish them off, dissolving them and smashing them against the pavement.
Head through. Push again.
There's no more than a foot away from salvation when she feels a vile touch. Oh, something wet, sticky and hot wraps around her left wrist. The air fills with the suffocating smell of paint and solvent, but they're quickly blotted out by the reek of a large sweaty body. The monster's grasp holds Eva firmly in place, not permitting her to move so much as an inch forward. She clings to the half-open dog door and spins around. What in the shit? In the brightness of a streetlight, she faces a formless darkness. Before her eyes, the darkness splinters into pieces. She'd rather go blind than see the nightmare come to life. Oh god. The hallway resembles a black hole, hollowed out by a massive lava. Inside, something heavy wheezes and trudges closer until, finally, Eva discerns a horrifying figure. Ooh, a gelatinous fat body trembles in the darkness. It's hard to guess what that creature used to be. Now it's hideously swollen. The chef's apron covering its stomach is all but bursting. Gnarled arms sprout from the pallid flesh on its back. Ew, like a toad, the bottomless mouth spills out a long tongue, which curls around Eva's wrist. Oh my god. Letting out a strangled sob, Eva tries to free her hand, but the tongue won't let go. It bites into her skin, sucking on it with a horrible gnawed... I'm gonna be sick. The fat monster shudders and drools lustfully.
Get your hands off me, fiend!
Eva yanks her hand again. For a moment, it seems like the monster's grip has loosened. Her muscles ache from the strain, and her fingers hurt. But she keeps fighting. Get ready? What do you mean? What do you mean? Just as the monster's tongue seems like it's about to slip away, it clamps onto her skin even harder. Her fingers swell and rapidly turn red. Choked with horror, Eva can resist no longer. Did I get it wrong? I pressed the buttons! His tongue turns as tight and unbreakable as steel rope. The beast snaps its head back in a movement so powerful that she feels her shoulder blades crack. I pressed the buttons! Pain penetrates every joint. Eva skids across the floor, weakening and losing her will to fight. The dog flap is well beyond her reach. Escape is impossible. The world falls away into the beast's gurgling maw, and Eva drops in right after it. Her death cry echoes around the house, the last noise she'll ever make. What do you mean? Was that meant to happen? I pressed every button when it came up. Hello? What in the piss shit? To be continued, you fucking dare. Oh my giddy ants. You bunch of fucking freaks. I mean that in the most loving possible way. Oh my god. I need someone to tell me what those quick time events, did I fail them? Is there a way of winning that and getting out? Or is that supposed to happen? Because I pressed them when they came up. I swear to Almighty God. I might have to, in my own time, do that again. I can't do it now. My voice is fucked. I just can't get over how demented that went. Like, we're having a normal time. And all of a sudden, that went insane. Like, proper, scary, creepy, disturbing, fucked up shit. And I liked it. Seriously, what an insanely original, freaky idea. I cannot stress how intrigued I am for more episodes. This is just episode 1, remember? And it's been a good few hours. Fuck. Well, I mean, if you want to know more, subscribe. No, but seriously, subscribe anyway. But if you want to know more, check this out. As soon as the next episode comes out, we'll be playing it. Everyone working on that needs to give themselves a round of applause. The art style is really nice as well. The voice acting is good. I like the story. I liked the little brother. No way on earth did I expect that to happen to the brother. You could have asked me. No, there was no way I would have thought that. It really got me. So well fucking done. 10 out of 10. And that's all there is going to be today, guys. That's it. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You can comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, because it does help with the algorithm and all that shit. And I'm going to go now, and I'm going to contemplate that. Wow.